Hi everyone. I don't know if you know who Regina Dugan is, but she is involved with Google now, director or something like that. She came from DARPA and a very brilliant person, supposedly. And so this is who she is. She made the hummingbird drones or had something to do with that, and involved with a lot of different things. So she worked for DARPA. She worked for Motorola, and now she's at Google. And she's at Google with Ray Kurzweil, who is a transhumanist, who is head of engineering at Google. He is on the board or is on the faculty of the Singularity University. He's an immortalist, transhumanist, wants to become a god, and never die. So both these two are really kind of involved. So basically I just want to introduce you to all these things that are coming at us at once. It seems like they are converging very quickly now, and probably by 2017 people will be faced with the choice of taking a so-called chip or mark. I think we better call it mark because I think it's going to be a mark, not exactly a chip, to buy or sell. And some people aren't going to want to do that, and we're warned about it in Revelation, in the Bible, not to take it. So something everyone will have to be confronted with, I'm pretty sure, because it's coming really close. Anyway, so that's Regina Dugan, and if you look up her name in Google, of course I used Google, you can see all these things about here. Here is where she's showing a tattoo RFID. It's bendable and everything, and this was made by Motorola. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of that and try to go through these quickly. Okay, of course Monsanto is in on it too. They're trying to put RFID and smart dust into food. This little kid right here is really cool. I watched him a long time ago. Against Monsanto. Okay, so this is Motorola talking about these stamps. They would attach it with a rubber stamp. Okay, and Regina Dugan says there's a problem with authenticating people because not everyone will do it. So they will stick this to your flesh, an electronic circuit to your flesh. They don't have to remove, I don't know how long it stays on or anything, but of course they will continue to develop it. So you know, things are getting tinier and tinier, and I have no idea why the guy who, this guy, why did he do this? He is not the first cyborg. There's all kinds of people who have had chips in their arms, and this is just absurd to do something like this when everything is so tiny. I think maybe they paid him to do this so that people will be more willing to say, wow, if that guy can put a huge thing like that in his arm, then no problem, put a tiny little tattoo on mine. So Regina Dugan also says that kids 10 to 20 will love, they'll make it fancy. And she said they will want it just to piss off their parents even. Okay, so this technology, okay, it's it's developed by Massachusetts-based company MC10, and they use a rubber stamp to put it on you. Yeah, it might go in your skin a little bit. Okay, Regina Dugan, she says uses bendable circuits, and Motorola hopes the biostamps could now be used for consumer authentication purposes. They want to authenticate you so you have an ID in you and on you. Motorola is investing in the digital pill. I made videos about this a long time ago. They can even open doors, close doors, lock doors. They can put anything in these, and then they have the matching devices, the readers and everything to control anything. So what I'm saying, what I wanted to talk about is Regina Google is head of Google. Regina Dugan is head of Google. And Ray Kurzweil is engineer. They're into transhumanism. And Google Plus has a very similar sounding name to, let's see, Google Plus. Let me find it here. Humanity Plus. Okay, Humanity Plus is transhumanism. Okay, get it? Google Plus, Humanity Plus. Even on Google's page, it says U Plus, right? Look. Oh, it has plus U. I don't think they care about you, though. They don't care. Okay, now you know with Google Plus, they don't care. They're picking and choosing what they put to show the world. Photos you don't want shown, they will show. Anything, they will show. They don't care. This is sort of a humiliating and kind of harassing in a way. They're going to force you to do it if you want to go on YouTube and, you know, have your keep your account, be able to make comments and stuff. So you can't. And this is how it will be when you finally have this mark. You have to have the mark on your body, or you will not be able to buy and sell. It will be the only way, just like the Bible said. And if you can't buy and sell, or if you refuse, and it will come down to following the Bible, because that's what it says. Most people will go with that. If you refuse, guess what happens? Well, what happens is, okay, let me just show you this. Okay, I'll show you this instead. Regina Dugan at Singularity University. Singularity University is on the NASA campus, and she's all involved with that too, which is a transhumanist university. Okay, there she is again, and she did her Illuminati one-eyed thing on that other page. Okay, so Singularity University. All right, here she is with the tattoo, and here it is, and it's been around for a while. I've seen it. Okay, now another thing is, suddenly Bitcoin is on the rise. So can you see how this is all connected? If the timing, they plan years and years and years ahead, and they made Bitcoin sound like oh, no one knew who the guy was who invented it. Had this really mysterious background, and then, you know, the FBI or the CIA, they're like, we're going to stop this. But actually, now it's thriving, and the mark, the tattoo that they would biostamp on your arm, probably permanently, so you might say in the hand, maybe you could get it on your forehead, would be connected to Bitcoin, which is really thriving at this moment. And today is Saturday, November, I forgot, November 9th, I think. Okay, so Bitcoin, yep, it's all connected to the digital cyber world. They're going to force you into this, and it might mean you have to die. And, you know, Lady Gaga, here's her guillotine show. She actually fake chopped off her head with a guillotine Now, isn't that weird? Here she is with it. I mean, she still has her head, but um, she had to do that. And then lots of other weird things about guillotines, like the Noahide laws, which are connected. Okay, the Noahide laws are gaining in prominence also. Picking up speed, like the UN, Universal, the US government has adopted them, and they advocate beheading if you break the law, and the laws are have no God before me, or no idolatry. Okay, sorry you have to see this, but this may be a reality. You may have to think about it, because here is Reagan when he agreed to the Noahide laws. And Evan Batterton, I read his research. It's fantastic. Really, go to his WordPress. He did a lot of research about it. It's very, very good. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And why is it Lady Gaga, an Illuminati, supposedly puppet kind of person, brings it into the cultural scene? She puts a guillotine on stage in Berlin, and or maybe more than one of her shows. Then, okay, Ray Kurzweil, Lifeboat Foundation. The Lifeboat Foundation is a totally transhumanist organization, which you could really look up. Here it is, right here, Safeguarding Humanity. And they don't mean everyone, I don't think. I think they mean the select few. Okay, here's Ray Kurzweil, transhumanist, immortalist, and they want to implant all of us with chips and control us in one way or another, not just the biostamped, tattoo with electronic RFID. They also want to get this inside of our bodies. So this back here on the Motorola thing, this pill creates a unique signal like an ECG trace that can be picked up by devices outside the body, which could be used to verify a user's identity. This is what they want. They want to verify your identity. The former, wait a minute, oh yeah, former Google employee, that is this guy, because Google bought Motorola. Dugan added, authentication is irritating. Yeah, she doesn't like it. So can you see by Google Plus, Obamacare, they are herding people like cattle into a corral. You're forced, okay? If you don't do Obamacare, you will have to pay a fine. You will have a penalty, and then if you don't pay that penalty, then you'll probably be, on top of it. It's kind of like taxes, and then if you don't pay that, lien on your house, don't pay it, then maybe you go to jail, I don't know, and then they force the biostamp on you. No, you will always have a choice. With that, you will always have a choice, but it might mean off with your head. But be willing to die. It doesn't matter. You're going to die anyway, and it's better to put your hands in the hands of God, who told us all about this in the first place, because Jesus Christ, by dying, took the sting out of death, and there is no victory. The grave, we have victory over the grave, because it's better to do that than to get involved with this soul catcher. I don't know if you've heard of that. Soul catcher, British Telecom. They want to control people so much. This research has been going on for ages. Okay, authentication takes 2.3 seconds each time for existing users. Motorola would not be put off by those who felt that the new technologies were creepy. Yeah, that's like getting something embedded in you because you think they're surveilling us now. They're going to control your thoughts, your movements, they'll give you little jabs of electrical volts and jolts. Okay, so this is coming. This is definitely coming. And here's a comment down here worth noting. The surprise here is Google's admitting to its dream of tagging the entire human population with some equivalent of RFID chips, though I guess if the technology is close enough to fruition. Okay, so yeah, they want to track everyone. They want to have all of your data, and you are just a node in the hive mind. They don't care about you, and that's why all of this police harassment and um, just shameful things are going on that they're horrible. Okay, let's see. Aaron Rousseau talked about this and warns us about the Rockefellers, or the Aaron Rousseau. Do you know Aaron Rousseau? A lot of people do. Okay, how about that? Rockefeller chip. They want to chip the whole world is what he was told. You can watch this interview here. Just type this in and go to images because I like it's admitted elite goal of microchipped population. The whole entire population. Some things just pop up. Okay. So try to watch his interview. It's very, very good. This one right here. Then, okay, the Noahide laws, Google, smart dust. Smart dust may be in the sky when you see those glowing clouds. They might not just be reflecting the sunlight as they say, but they may be dusting the world and we're breathing this in. Some of these, they're getting tinier and tinier and we can breathe them in and then they start going through our bloodstream and who knows, you got to pray because that's the only thing. You have to stay close to God to be wise, and wisdom is worth more than gold. So none of this will hurt you. None of this will harm you. So don't be afraid. And some people have been chipped. So here's an example of smart dust. They just want to they're spreading it out in the world. Look up. There are all kinds of videos. I have videos on what they've been putting in the sky since 2004 is when I first started noticing it. And actually in 2000, maybe 1999, I started to first hear about GMOs. Our local health food store had activists who were saying, say no to GMOs. And now look, did you ever dream we would end up like this in this world? Unbelievable. We live in exciting times, but I really think the Bible tells everything that is going to happen, and this scares people, this idea about getting this or some tiny thing embedded. Even I've heard some guys, some men say they don't believe the Bible, but this, when they think about this and what the Bible says or the tattoos, it scares the heck out of them, And it says in the Bible, grown men will die from, their hearts will fail from fear because of what's coming upon the world. And it's pretty creepy. Okay, Obamacare. Obamacare, are they going to force people to have the RFID? Well, if Rockefeller, the plans of Rockefeller are true, then, and Obama is just a puppet, you know, and he lied so that all those people lost. I mean, you are forced to get Obamacare. There's no way. Okay, here's Joe Biden telling the Chief Justice, he was being sworn in. Let me find that. And he said, "You will rule on this in your," right here, John Roberts. And Biden said, "You will rule on RFID chips being implanted and brain scans to determine if someone is violent or not." See, look how tiny these things are. Don't be afraid, anyone. Stay calm and keep, the Holy Spirit is real. There's a spirit in the world that is pretty darn evil, but nothing can harm you. Just keep saying that. Nothing can harm you, and find some Psalms and Proverbs and Bible verses that reassure you, because you will need the strength for what is coming. It will affect everyone. Okay, well, you have to take time to look at all these things yourself. And so just remember, NASA, Singularity, Google, all these places are one and the same. Google has colorful letters on their website. When you go to look up things, it looks all happy and all that, but they need to appeal to the masses, you know. Look, it looks all happy, and I use it all the time, but they're reeling us in. They are really reeling us in. They have to, because if they have a goal, when they have their secret meetings all over the world, they have a plan for this earth, the one world government, the one world religion, and I don't know how it's all going to play out, but Jesus said to notice the signs. And also there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, the stars, and, you know, animals dying, you know, Sodom and Gomorrah type situation. It's getting really bad. I feel really bad for kids that live in this world. I have two students. I have one 14 and have another one who's 7. And the 14-year-old, she is suicidal, I would say. And then the 7-year-old wants to go to heaven. It's hard for kids now with all the things that are happening. Okay, if you aren't aware of these things, you don't pay attention to it, then maybe, you know, none of this bothers you. But it would be wise for every person to consider it in their soul, how they will deal with this. And there's this other woman, I don't know her name exactly, but I was listening to a video, and she said also they're all connected, but to me the key was Google Plus and Humanity Plus. That was a big key. It's just so obvious. So don't take the chip, okay? Or don't take the tattoo, and the tattoo might become even invisible and smaller, not like what it shows she has. Okay, Humanity Plus, World Transhumanist Association. And you can find, when you dig a little bit deeper, you will find out that they are all connected. NASA, Singularity is on NASA campus. Ray Kurzweil is faculty. Ray Kurzweil is on Google. Regina Dugan is on Google, and Motorola, and DARPA, and NASA, and Singularity. And I guess I lost the thing I was watching that I wanted to show you. Okay, so I just go from there. But that's what I think about it. And I'm not leaving comments. Oh, here it is. I'm not leaving comments because I can't get into my account. My account is, I can't even move. Okay. My account is over here somewhere, but I have to go to Google Plus. I have to agree to it or it won't open. So I haven't done that yet. Dang it. Alright. My computer's getting a little old. It's about 3 years old, so something just, okay, there it goes. It just won't move. Alright.
Skype, Google Mail, Yahoo Mail, PayPal, these are all the same entity. They're all integrated. They get bought and sold and traded around. These are all U.S. Navy and military operations. Now, I know a physicist who told me that they were tracking people in the lab by the electromagnetic frequency emitted by individuals' DNA. In other words, every living thing is an antenna that transmits and receives. We're an electrical system, and the DNA in every living thing has a unique frequency and signal. That is what they're using, what they're focusing on, and what they're weaponizing to completely control us. The DNA Human Genome Project was carried out at the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, where I was a staff scientist for 5 years. But the Lawrence Livermore Lab, Los Alamos National Lab, these are all nuclear weapons labs, were also involved. That means the military, because the nuclear weapons labs exist for the Pentagon, and the Pentagon exists for the oil companies. So the Human Genome Project was set up and well-funded to experiment and to research and to describe the human genome. Well, what we know about Google is that they are doing DNA surveys from space. This would be NASA and the Navy.
Okay, Google doing DNA surveys from space. Okay, you got to watch this whole thing because, you know, the Vatican, they have their Lucifer, their observatory called Lucifer. Craig Venter, he has, you know, his ship named some satanic name, you know, and he's the one that's creating the synthetic biology and all the nanotechnology and all the, you know, it just goes on and on. It's really scary times when you find out what the scientists are doing and creating. And then, what about this? I just used Yahoo this time. Just looking into this. Google barges. Those barges, they're revealing some things about those barges now, but I don't think they're floating art projects, but they're going to have data and uh, being out on the ocean, it'll be great for them. They'll have a big moat if things go haywire in the USA or anywhere. But this is what most people have their minds on, right? They have uh, why people got divorced, um, you know, all these, you know, the starlets dresses, and let's see, Christina Aguilera looks skinnier than ever. Meanwhile, Google are doing DNA surveys from space. And you know, you have your phone, they can track your phone, they can track you, they know everything about you, they can authenticate you through your phone, and even your camera. They can we don't even know what they're capable of, but definitely they can track you with your camera.
NASA is run by the Navy. They have been tracking and identifying isolated populations, for instance, in the Amazon, who have never had contact with Western people. These
if you have friends who complain of hearing voices or something like that, you might believe them because of the satellite technology and being able to zoom in down, and with your phone and the smart dust we've been breathing and the food we've been eating, we're probably like walking antennas already. So Humanity Plus is real. Google is real. They want to advance they want to become gods, the people who are running this world, and they don't care about us, and don't take the chip. Read Revelation 13. Read all of Revelation. Some is not as clear as others, but it very clearly states Christians are beheaded. And the Noahide laws, they hate Christians for worshiping a man who is Jesus Christ. You will lose your head. Okay, good luck with that. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. God bless with truth and wisdom.